Welcome to the Pixelberry Choices podcast, and today we're going to be talking about chapter 11 of Wolf Pride. And wow, what happened? I'm still trying to process it. I knew what my standing was, how I felt about this book. I have I have mixed feelings. Usually I just review, just say what happened, but I have my now I like Old Bride, what it looked like, what kind of book it was. It's actually one of the best books I have read this year, hands down. Oh, let's get started. I'm just bubbling here, but anyway. So we start off. We spent the night at the tower with Alpha, and then the hunter Morgan comes in, and then there's a impending fight. Morgan wants to take us back to the city. Bastien doesn't want to let us go, and then there's a fight, and Bastien turns into his massive primal form. We try to tell him like it's not, you can't just Hulk every time, go Hulk mode, but he's not the one to listen. He attacks Morgan, but then Morgan gets some inhuman strength, and this is not human. He punches Bastien in the jaw, and he starts bleeding. So there's a blood, and then he transforms to human form. And then there's a question in both of our eyes that Morgan isn't a human, so he's one of the pack. And then there's a distant look in the Alpha's eye because he doesn't want to attack someone who is of the pack, so he doesn't want to attack Morgan. And Morgan doesn't want to agree to this, or doesn't want to accept the thing that she's one of the pack, because she thinks the pack members, all of the wolves, they're terrible mass murderer and monsters, and she doesn't want to be part of the monsters. Then the Alpha will tell us and sort of give us a suggestion to go for Morgan, and sort of we can console her, and we can tell her to look for her true identity, and we need to lift her morals up. So in this dimension we can go after Morgan, and we will meet Thunderhoof the deer and Morgan in her damaged cabin. We will see in the flood computers, everything, any sample she collected, everything was damaged. We also learned how Morgan was planning to collect some data to show her father Sawyer that how his mining projects are damaging the eco diversity there, but it's not gonna happen now. And then we share a moment there. We talk about her true identity, and if she is one of the wolves, what will happen. And then we can just comfort her, and then we will come out of there. We will go to the pack, and we will immediately be challenged by Jet and Isabel. But if you acquired all the powers, Naomi will come. You will acquire another power, and you will show your dominance, and everybody will be so afraid of you. Even Jet, even though he stands powerful, but you will feel your power, our main character power. Then we go to our room. Bastien comes along. We have this conversation. Bastien says he could have killed Morgan, but he couldn't bring himself to kill. So definitely there is something. He also feels it. Like there is something. And then we can go to the environment, to some trees, and we can get some answers from the spirit in this diamond scene. And we can ask some questions also. The Alpha will be asking this question, like who he should ask this question, who Morgan is. Probably some of the eldest. So there's only Naomi, I think, the eldest one, the woman, the speaker. So we will ask her, but Alpha is really nervous about asking and finding out what truth may come out, so he's very scary of that. We also ask questions, and one thing I really liked about it, they said like, you won't get the answers in words. The spirit will only help you to look for the answer inside. And I think it's true in our daily life to like, Sometimes we ask for questions, we ask for salvation and other things, but we sometimes seek for it from other person, from other people, from other persons, from outside source. But we don't realize that the answer could be inside us if we look deep inside us. So that was a really good point they brought up there, and I really like this chapter. And then we get to sort of hook up with Bastien there if you want with your alpha, and then we'll come back. We will go to Naomi the next, and Alpha will approach it, anger in his face. He wants to know what is the true identity of Morgan, and it seemed like Naomi knew what was the question even before it was asked. And then here comes the truth. So this is super awesome. I mean, some of you predicted that this could happen, and it is. So Morgan is actually Bastien's sister, and not just sister, but elder sister. And there's a 2 years age difference. So 2 years before Bastien was born, Morgan was born, and she was born on a full moon night. And the mates, so Bastien and Morgan, they have the same father, but they have different mate or mother, if that makes sense. So her mother died, or something happened in the way, and then she was born blind and weak. So what it seemed like, they just left her there to die. And then we sort of become angry at this, like this is what the pack stand for. And also Alpha confirms, Alpha didn't know about this Morgan, her sister instance, but he confirmed this is what happens to the babies born under full moon night. Remember why Lila was so afraid that if what would happen if she gives birth to her baby on the full moon night? This is what happened. So we sort of rebuke them, and that this is so inhuman, even though they're not human. So this part is understandable because they're animals, but still, this is like barbaric. What would this be? Then Naomi says that maybe they were wrong, so they accept their mistake, that they shouldn't have done that. Maybe the weak can also survive, just like Morgan did. She was the strongest. And then we realize when we were bonded with the Alpha, even though Bastien was the Alpha, as Morgan is the eldest and she is still alive. So when we bonded with Bastien, we were also bonded with Morgan. I mean, this is the ultimate twist. That's why it happened. And then we see Morgan is escorted by Jet. Jet, yeah. So Jet is taking Morgan in as she was eavesdropping. And then Jet will try to hurt Morgan, but we will stand up for her, and we will sort of make Jet transform into his normal form from primal form. And then Morgan will say that she has listened to everything. And then the Alpha, Bastien, will ask Morgan that if she's willing to challenge Bastien for the Alpha position. And Morgan will say no, she doesn't want to do that. And then we'll say that yes, she doesn't want to be Alpha, but she wants to just know the answers. But here's where the twist comes. Immediately, the whole Night of Ossuary. By the way, the name is so, I mean, they're the bad guys here, I know, but the name, wow. The Night of Ossuary, that is some name they have for themselves. But anyway, so they come, and Sawyer, he gets down from his vehicle and tells Morgan that, wow, you just led me straight to the den. So what will happen in the next chapter? There is an impending fight. Who will Morgan choose? Morgan just knew her identity. Morgan just gotten to know her identity, that she's the Bastien's the Alpha sister, and she can potentially still be Alpha. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but she potentially can. And who will she support? Will she support the pack, or she will support her father? What will happen? And what really happened on the day when Morgan was born? So far, it seems like the pack, they have a rule, because they're animals, that the weakest, survival of the fittest. So as Morgan was weak and stuff, they just left her there to die. But then Sawyer saved her. But was there more to the story than what meets the eye? We will find out soon. But this chapter was interesting, and this book, I can't wait for the next chapter. There's more to it. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are, and I'm thrilled to read the next chapter. But it was really great. And by the way, so far, I know there's a whole line of debate about who, Bastien versus Morgan. Well, I personally think, both the characters have really good story in the plot, and I personally like Bastien, but I also like Morgan. I mean, both of them, choices have done a pretty good job, I would say, with Bastien and Morgan. The way, they did this, the love triangle, and then how they, managed to bring this all, like, they were haters. It's just, this is what happens in real life sometimes. Like, two countries, they hate each other. So if you get two people from the two countries or two sides, they'll say we hate each other, but then there could be more to the truth. Or it's just something, or two polarizing sides. So I would say this is just a top class thing that happened. And I like the way our main character gets to know both of them, Bastien and Morgan, and how they are, how individually it's just how, and their impact on the story and their own personality. It's just unique, and I love them, and I love how the story has progressed so far. I can't wait for the next chapter. I'm so happy that I read it. But let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, peace out.